What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Combat Sports Media YouTube channel. And before I go any further, please subscribe if you already haven't done so, especially if you enjoy my content. And I also would like to give a shout out to a few boxing channels that I appreciate, like, and listen to when I have the time. I would like to recommend them to you if just in case you guys already don't subscribe or listen to them. And the thing about these channels is they're a lot like mine in the sense that they talk boxing. They talk about the fights. They don't talk about usually business or fights that they wish that could happen but aren't signed or aren't gonna happen or anything like that. Or any of the gossip bullshit, just about fights and, breaking down upcoming ones and stuff like that, and as well as other stuff surrounding the athletes themselves and relevant topics to the sport of boxing. And one of those, of course, my man ITR Boxing family and Lukey. I consider him a friend. He's been going at it for a long time now, and he's slowly but surely garnering a lot of attention. And if you haven't checked out ITR Boxing, I suggest you do. Another one is G Funky. I personally don't have a relationship with any of these guys aside from Lukey, who I consider a friend, but G Funky is another great channel. I've called in a few times. Enjoy the content very much, as well as Boxing Wave. Shout out to Boxing Wave. I don't know him or anything like that. Just enjoy the content that he puts out. And there's of course a few others as well, but just wanted to point that out. In this video, we're going to be talking about the upcoming fight between Caleb Plant versus Jose Benavidez Jr. Now, this is one of the most relevant fights that can be made today in not just the super middleweight division, but boxing. And by the way, this is on March 25th on Showtime pay-per-view, I believe, if I already haven't mentioned that. So anyway, back to the fight. This fight has been brewing for quite some time. There's genuine bad blood between these two. They're both great athletes. They're both big for the weight. And Caleb Plant, as we all know, came up short against Canelo not too long ago and lost by knockout. But if we're being honest, he was doing pretty good in that fight in some spots, and was giving Canelo a little bit of trouble, closing the gap. But we all know what eventually happened, and there's no shame in that. Canelo is the best fighter at the weight. Now Caleb, his style, he's a typical boxer. He's got decent athleticism, he's got great legs, good hand speed, and a great jab. And he works off of that jab. It's his bread and butter. He doubles it up, triples it, to the chest, body, head, everything. He's a left-handed dominant fighter, much like, guys like Oscar De La Hoya, Nonito Donaire. But the issue with him, is he doesn't have the power. Even Ryan Garcia, even though he's got a powerful right hand now as well, actually. So I actually will leave him out of that. But left-handed dominant fighters such as Andre Ward, Oscar De La Hoya, Nonito Donaire. Caleb Plant is of that ilk, style-wise. However, he doesn't possess the power that those guys had in their left hand. Oscar De La Hoya was known to have that powerful left hook as well as a powerful jab. Nonito Donaire is famous for that hook and has decapitated multiple world-class fighters with it. One of them comes to mind right away is Fernando Montiel back in the day on HBO. And you know, Andre Ward, he had underrated snap and power in that left hand too. And the thing with Ward was his skill was just at such a high level, as well as his IQ. Now Caleb doesn't have the power that Oscar did or Nonito does for the weights that they competed in. And he doesn't have the skill nor the IQ that Andre Ward has. And look, again, he has a lot of good attributes, such as he has great legs, he moves around really good laterally and around the ring. He's smart, uses his jab really good, very skillful with that left hand, but has nothing on that right hand. And he got found out because of that in that Canelo fight. And, you know, other than that, I got nothing really bad to say about Caleb Plant. He seems like a mentally strong fighter. He always comes to the fight in shape and on weight. He always makes weight. And his only loss is to Canelo. You know, again, he's about maybe 6'1". He's got a decent reach for the weight. And yeah, and he's working with Breadman Edwards. He's coming off of a great knockout win. I believe it's their second fight together. And Breadman Edwards has faced Jose Benavidez in the past before with Kyron Davis, I believe. And man, I don't know how Kyron took all the punches, but shout out to Kyron Davis. He was a tough guy. So let's move on to Jose Benavidez. Now, this guy looks like a small heavyweight to me. As much or as big as Caleb is for the weight, I think David is truly a monster. He's really the Mexican monster. I mean, I don't know how much longer he can continue making this weight comfortably. He's been fighting at it for as long as I can remember. He's a kid who, or a man, I should say, who's weighed about 168 when he was like 12 or younger. So the weight has to be taking something out of him. And he's young, so right now, I don't know. It's something that could take a toll at any moment, you know? It's hard to tell. I do know that he's been in the gym for a while. In the press conference that I saw, he looks like he's, you know, relatively close to the weight. You know, but then again, I don't know how much that's taken out of him. You know, that's not always a good thing. And you know, his resume is not all that, to be honest with you. His aura and the hype behind him is mainly due to the eye test and the Mexican-American fan base and boxing fans that love action fighters behind them. I mean, he's coming off of a win against David Lemieux, I believe, who retired after the fight immediately and was never a true super middleweight. I mean, other than that, you know, he beat Ronald Gavril twice, and you know, Porky Medina, Durrell, I believe, as well. I'm not sure about that though. But you know, I mean, the point is he doesn't have the deepest resume. He just seems like a guy uh, that is unbeatable when you watch him fight at times. But he does seem like a guy that can get outboxed at times. It just, he's so big and relentless and powerful for the super middleweight division that he always manages to overwhelm and outdo his opponents. The question is he going to be able to do that to Caleb Plant? Because you know that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to overwhelm Caleb Plant with his strength, size, and volume, and you know, activity and pace. And you know, moving on to the prediction, I believe he is, because of mainly due to Caleb's lack of the right hand, due to Caleb's skill and all his wonderful attributes. He's going to be able to probably outbox and win a lot of the beginning rounds, or and do well in the first half of the fight. But slowly but surely, the pace of the fight, the accumulation of the punches landed by Benavidez are going to take their toll, and I'm expecting either a decision win for Benavidez or a late round knockout or TKO. Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you for tuning in once again, and I'll see y'all soon.